Awakening isn't about an experience. So everybody's wanting to awaken and looking for awakening, and when will I awaken, or when will the me drop away? And it's not about experience. It profoundly affects and changes the human awakening, and there's an energetic shift that happens from being inside to out, to being everything. But it's not actually one of those experiences. Awakening is the clearing of the veil that believes that who you are is someone inside this body. And in that removal, then there is an energetic expansion, because who's been experiencing this has never been experiencing from inside the body. It's been the whole entire dream. It created the whole dream. It's hard to put this in words. I'll start, I suppose, from the beginning. So when the baby's born, the baby's going to have come into this life with lots of things from the parents, the genetic makeup of the parents, information from generations, so you could say like past life experiences, but they're not really past life because they don't belong to anyone. But the information in the DNA is going to have memories of other lives, of the human life. So the baby comes into this world with loads of information in the body. And you could say it already comes out a particular way. It has a very strong, unique quality to it, the baby. Hey, beauty. This little face. And so the baby has this very unique quality to it. But that baby's not experiencing. The baby in itself, that information, when the baby's born, doesn't experience. So that information is like a it's like a film, you could say, like a book. But unless somebody watches the film, or unless something looks through the baby doesn't inherently experience. So something needs to look through it in order for there to be experienced, like a book needs to be read in order for that information to come alive. The same with the film needs to be watched in order for that film to be experienced. If nobody watches it, then the film is not experienced. The book's a better analogy. But so that baby has all that information. It has all the information of human and probably past lives as well, and comes into this world with so much. But it's nothing. It's just information without something looking through it. It's dead matter. It's a nothing without consciousness, without something being conscious of that. But that consciousness isn't located. It's the most amazing matrix, because the consciousness isn't located from behind the body. It doesn't even really look in through the body, because the consciousness, because this is a reality of one, is actually the appearance of all things, but it's just seemingly looking through the baby at the world. So it's looking through the baby information at the world. But there isn't actually a consciousness, so there's not like a dream and then a consciousness that looks through it and lights up. Actually, the whole entire dream is that consciousness. Just like at night when we sleep, our minds or our imagination makes up the whole dream and is conscious of it simultaneously, even though it looks like it's looking from a particular angle. You look like, when you're in your dream, like you're looking through your body at a world. But actually, You are the whole entire world, that body, and the consciousness which is everywhere, and you couldn't find a place in which that consciousness wasn't. So just like this, but awakeness or aliveness or knowing isn't actually separate from things. This is where it's non-duality. So the sound of my voice, even though it seems like there's a listening through a body, the sound of my voice is actually the consciousness of it. So it's like you're sitting there watching the computer and you're hearing the sound of my voice, but actually the sound of my voice is your consciousness right now, is what's registering it, and it's not even yours. So it seems like you're sitting on a chair in your lounge, looking at a computer, listening to me speak, but actually in reality all there is me speaking, and there isn't anyone that knows it, but yet it's known, the speaking. The speaking is heard. But what happens inside the body, so what happens inside you, that's you people that are sitting listening to me, is this energy comes in and makes it feel like somebody's looking from behind the eyes and they are in relationship with the outside. But actually, in the actual experience, there isn't a separation from the sound of my voice and the consciousness of it. It's one and the same thing. And consciousness is what stays, or awakeness is what stays, or knowing is what stays. Everything else changes. The whole entire world changes. All things are always in movement and flow, but yet there's always presence, there's always a knowing of this. That is the continuous. That is which never born and never dies. At the moment, though, it's looking through these beautiful, individual, unique bodies. And there seems to be an awakening story happening. So there seems to be people inside these bodies that are staying out an amazing dream, that believe that they're separate from me, and believe they're separate from all things, and believe that they're sitting listening to me, and that they are located inside the body. But actually, my voice, the sight of me, is the way in which you know yourself. It's not that there's somebody inside your body knowing me. My appearance and my voice, the sound of my voice, are the way in which you know me. You know this. You know yourself. Isn't that beautiful? So everywhere you look, everywhere you run, everything you blame and hate is a reflection of you as consciousness, as awakeness. Every memory that appears, every idea of time, everything that appears is that consciousness, and that's who you truly are. I don't mean you as the illusory you that feels like it's inside the body, and I don't mean you as a thing. I mean you as not a thing, and yet simultaneously all things. And this isn't just about the intellectual realization of what I'm saying, or the seeing of what I'm saying, even though that's really profound, and once it's seen, it cannot be forgotten. Once it reveals itself, it cannot be veiled again. It cannot be that is then known, but there's still suffering often after that. And the second part of awakening, or what I call freedom, is when that energy switches from you experiencing life to boundlessness experiencing life. And the you appearing and disappearing in this. So the you becomes an experience The appearance of the separate person becomes an experience rather than the experiencer. The experiencer is not a thing and all things. And I use words like consciousness or knowing, and in a way, they're only pointers. I mean, everything I say is only pointers. It's not like they're the truth. Who you truly are is everything and not a thing. And that's not something that's describable. Like consciousness is slightly describable, something that you can intellectually get a little bit. It's a total mystery as to what's creating all this. Consciousness, we kind of like, you tend to have a bit of a position on what that is. It's a bit of a god in non-duality. So I tend to stay away from the word consciousness, but sometimes it's easier just to use it. And I like to always swap what I'm saying and swap the words up, because it's not about the words. Words come and go. And it's not about what I say. What I say comes and goes. And I'm always contradicting myself. I say one thing, then another thing. I like something, then I don't like something. Words are just words. What I'm talking about is this, is boundlessness. What I'm talking about is not something you can know, but yet it's the experience of all things. And it's home. With all the crazy dance that happen in this matrix, it's absolute home. The movement from this to that, to this to that. Love, growth, destruction, joy, happiness, sadness, grief, death. All this never-ending circle of things. This is home. Because this is the creator that isn't separate from all things and is not one particular thing. I'm not talking about some dead awareness watching this, or the watcher watching this. This is that watcher, that one that feels like it's behind, going back into all things, and then the person appears and disappears as an experience.